Alrighty, that was some of the parts to Hell's Bells by ACDC. I was tuned to G, but I raised this string to A. So this is now A, D, G. It just happens to work out by raising this string to A, which is kind of like a normal A, D, G guitar tuning. This song works out really, really well. So I'll go over those parts with you, and there are some other parts that you need to know if you want to play along with the whole record. Starts off with the low open string. Goes up here to 9. You can use your third finger, little finger, whichever you prefer. Then 7 on the middle. And then you don't go back to the A string. This is where a lot of people have a problem right off the bat. They kind of get messed up with it. You go open, 9, 7. And then 7, 7. And then open again. Then 5 on the high string, 5 on the middle, and then back to 7, 7, and then open. And then you start again. So it sort of sounds like you're hitting the open together, but it's important to think of the second open as the beginning of the next phrase. Play it for you. When you do the next phrase, of course, starts with the open, the same, 9 on the high string, 7 on the middle, 7 on the high, 7 on the middle, open, 5 on the high, 5 on the middle, open. Then when you come back up here, you just hit the 2 7s, or some books say the 1 7. And then you go down here and you go 3 2 0. But if you want to be fancy, you can take your finger and play the open high string. You can also do it like this. That's 3 and 5. Or this sounds better on my amp. And then you're open again. So let's try that second half of the phrase. It's like that. I'll do it slow. This is just the second half of the phrase. And then you go back to the first half of the phrase. I'll do the two together. Okay. Now I do that quite a few times. When it's the last time, you vary it like this. Then you're into the verse. Okay, I'll play the ending part for you. And once again, you can pinch the high string with it if you want. Now we're into the verse. So that's just 2 on the middle, 2 on the high, open on the same 2 strings, and back to 2, open on the low string to start it. So, and I usually let that sort of ring, the low string there, and then I go up here to 7 and 5 on the middle and high string. And then open again. And even here you can pinch if you want a fatter sound. So it does that a couple times just as a prelude to the verse, and then it does a couple times with vocals, and then it moves up to the 4 chord, kind of like a blues, and that's up here. And this is now a D chord. I know in our regular tuning it would be C, but because this is tuned 2 frets higher to an A string, it's now a D chord. And we play it like this. And how the riff goes is you play this, and then you play these two strings together. So this is going on the middle string. And the lick on the middle string is actually 7-5-7, 7-5-7 again, and then 7-7-7. And if I did something different than that at the beginning, just ignore me, because it changes all the time. I change it all the time. Shouldn't, but I do. Then when you've got that, you go over here to 5 and 5 on the middle and the high string. And then you have the choice of going to open or going 5-5 on the low and middle string. So I'll play that for you. Either way. Then we move up to E, and it does the same thing. You hit the 7, and you do that lick. And the phrasing changes a slight bit here. You know, if you don't happen to change the phrasing and you play it the same as the D chord, it probably wouldn't make much difference, but just to be technically correct. So it's a little different. It's he doesn't actually finish that going back. Then the same thing, you can go from here, and you can go running down to 2 if you want, or you can just go across. So that's middle and high, 7, and then low and middle, 7. And then it does it again, but changes it. Goes down to this chord here. And if you're wondering, this chord now here is an inverted G chord. It has the D note here and the G note here. So it's actually a G chord. And then we're back to the beginning. So we do the beginning again, same way we did before. We do another verse. I think there's only 2 verses before there's a solo. I might be wrong. And then it goes a little bit different. On the last line of the intro before the solo, it goes a little bit different. And you just let that ring. And then the second guitar, rhythm guitar, which is what we're doing, it gets quiet for a few measures, and then it does this lick. That's just like the verse lick. Open on the low string, 2-2 on the high and middle, open, 2-2 again. Then you go up to 5 and 7. So it does that a total of 4 times, then goes and does the chorus the same way we did it before. And then you go back to the intro. But this is going to become another solo. So you play the intro the same way you did before. And then this changes. Did you sort of get that? I'll play it slow. And then when it's done with that, it goes back into the and on the last one, it slows it down. There's a whole bunch of licks and stuff going in there, and then it ends the song with this. And that's all the parts you need to play the entire rhythm for Hell's Bells by ACDC. Have a great day.